The distant star system of Zorithus was a quiet, desolate corner of the galaxy. Home to the Rolvek, an ancient but stagnating race, it had once been a beacon of technological and philosophical advancements. Now it was a shadow of its former self, a collection of fragmented colonies barely clinging to survival. The Rolvek had grown apathetic, their spirit dulled by centuries of isolation and despair. It was a place where hope had died, and survival was a daily struggle. The threat came swiftly and without mercy. The Vralics, a ruthless and expansionist alien empire, descended upon Zorathis with overwhelming force. Their ships blotted out the skies, and their soldiers burned through every colony in their path. The Rolvik, unprepared and outmatched, surrendered city after city. Resistance was futile. The Vralics demanded total subjugation, and the Rolvik saw no choice but to comply. For years, the Rolvik lived under Vralics' oppression. They became slaves in their own lands, toiling in factories and mines to fuel the war machine of their conquerors. The once proud race had been reduced to shadows, their history erased, their culture suppressed. The stars above, once symbols of infinite possibilities, now mocked them with their indifference. That was until the humans came. It began as whispers in the wind, tales of a new species rising from the uncharted regions of the Orion Arm. The humans, they were called. A young race, impulsive and unpredictable, but with an unyielding determination that had caught the attention of the galactic powers. The Rolvik, like most others, dismissed the stories as exaggerations. What could a species barely out of its cradle achieve against the Vralics Empire? The humans were not a myth. They were real, and they were coming. The first sign of their arrival was the pulse of energy that shattered the communications blackout the Vralics had imposed on Zorithis. The second was the sight of their ships, sleek, aggressive designs that bristled with weaponry. They descended into the system with the precision of a predator stalking its prey. Unlike the Vralics, they made no grand announcements, no theatrical displays of power. They simply acted. Aboard the human flagship Resolute Endeavor, Captain Elena Carter reviewed the reports flooding in from her officers. The Vralics' fleet was formidable, but their arrogance was their greatest weakness. They had grown complacent, relying on fear to suppress resistance rather than strategic defense. Target their supply lines, Elena ordered, her voice calm but resolute. Cut off their reinforcements. We'll strike where they least expect. Her crew sprang into action. Humans had a reputation for being chaotic, but in battle, they were a symphony of calculated chaos. Their adaptability, their relentless drive, and their refusal to back down in the face of overwhelming odds made them a force to be reckoned with. The Rolvek watched in stunned disbelief as the human fleet tore through the Vralics' forces. Their weapons were advanced, but it was their strategy that was truly remarkable. That humans didn't fight for territory or resources. They fought to liberate. They moved swiftly, targeting Vralic strongholds and freeing Rolvik slaves wherever they went. Their motto, broadcast across the occupied colonies, was simple yet profound. We leave no one behind. In one of the largest Rolvik cities, Vreshka Prime, Elder Kolev sat in his crumbling council chamber, listening to reports of human victories. He was an old Rolvik, his fur grayed, and his spirit weary from decades of oppression. Yet, as he listened, a spark of hope he thought long extinguished began to flicker. Elder, a young Rolvik messenger, burst into the room, her eyes wide with excitement. The humans, they're approaching the city. They're fighting the Vralics in the skies above us. Kolev stood slowly, his joints protesting the movement. Prepare to greet them, he said, his voice firm despite his trembling hands. We must show them we are not broken. The battle for Vreshka Prime was fierce. Human ground forces clad in advanced exosuits clashed with Vralic soldiers in the city streets. Civilians watched from the shadows, their hearts pounding as the tide of battle shifted. For the first time in years, they saw the Vralics retreating, their oppressive grip loosening. Sergeant Marcus Vance led his squad through the narrow alleys of the city, their objective clear: disable the Vralics command center. He moved with purpose, his helmet's HUD displaying the layout of the area and the positions of enemy forces. His squad trusted him implicitly. He had earned their loyalty through countless battles. As they'd breached the command center, Marcus's voice echoed through their comms. No hesitation. Remember, these people have suffered long enough. Let's give them a reason to hope. The firefight was brutal but brief. When the last Vralik soldier fell, Marcus signaled the all-clear. The Rolvek who had been imprisoned there stared at their human liberators with a mixture of awe and disbelief. One of them, a young Rolvek child, approached Marcus cautiously, her large eyes filled with curiosity. "Are you really here to help us?" she asked in a trembling voice. Marcus knelt to her level, removing his helmet to reveal a warm smile. "Yeah, kid," he said gently, "we're here to help." News of the humans' victories spread like wildfire. Across Zorathis, Rolvik resistance movements began to rise, inspired by the unyielding determination of their unexpected allies. The humans didn't just fight for them, they fought alongside them, teaching them tactics and sharing resources. Elder Koliv, now a key figure in coordinating the resistance, found himself in awe of the humans' resilience. In a meeting with Captain Elena Carter, he voiced his thoughts. "Your people, you fight with such ferocity, such unwavering resolve. What drives you?" he asked. Elena's expression softened. "We've faced our share of darkness," she said. "But we've learned that even in the darkest times, hope is a weapon. And sometimes it just takes someone willing to light the spark." The final battle came sooner than expected. The Vraliks, desperate to maintain their hold on Zorathis, launched an all-out assault on the human fleet. It was a trap designed to crush the humans' momentum and reassert their dominance. But the humans were ready. They had anticipated the move and laid a counter-trap of their own. When the Vraliks' fleet arrived, they found themselves surrounded, their forces overwhelmed by the sheer ingenuity of human strategy. The battle was a turning point, not just for Zorathis, but for the galaxy. Where the dust settled, the Vraliks were defeated. Their empire, once thought invincible, began to crumble under the weight of rebellion across their territories. And in Zorathis, the Rolvik stood tall once more, their chains broken, their spirits rekindled. Years later, a monument stood in Vreshka Prime's central square, a testament to the alliance that had saved their people. It depicted a human soldier and a Rolvik standing side by side, their gazes fixed on the stars. The inscription read, "In our darkest hour, they came as strangers and left as family." The story of the humans spread far and wide, a reminder that even in the vastness of the galaxy, where hope seemed lost, there was always a chance for redemption. All it took was the courage to fight for it, and the willingness to believe in something greater. For the Rolvik, the humans were more than allies. They were the spark that reignited their hope. And for humanity, it was another chapter in their journey among the stars, a testament to their unyielding spirit and their capacity to inspire.